Game 16 of the Futsal Champions Series. In our second match tonight, we remain in Grand Rapids, just 5 miles down the road, where Midwest United hosts Lansing City. Lansing City travels to Grand Rapids with a record that doesn't tell the full story. Although 1-3, the team has been very competitive in all their matches this year. Their last trip to Grand Rapids saw them come up just 1 goal shy of Ole Futsal Club for a share of the points. This young squad has proved that they can compete with the best. Midwest United will have an eye on stealing first place tonight with a positive result and help elsewhere. Their deep roster showcased some big names in the Michigan scene last week. This confident, selfless mindset and a veteran roster will be looking to utilize their high-power offense to complete the sweep on the season series. Will tonight duplicate the instant classic from just over a month ago? Find out when Lansing City face Midwest United now.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Futsal Champions Series. Still in Grand Rapids. Now we are over watching Midwest United as they just kicked off against Lansing City. Jake George here with you guys. Welcome to the stream. Thanks for joining us here as we watch a rematch from a game back in December. Midwest starting things off with the ball. Huge matchup here tonight. I know one that has been very anticipated after a 22-goal thriller back in December. Midwest saw that win, and now they're looking to get the, and a little bit of a push and a shove here between two players right off the rip. Definitely going to be some intensity in this game. Two very good teams, and they're vying to shake up the table as it is a very volatile table here tonight with the matchups we see. Going to be very curious to see how this all shapes up for these guys. Replay of the foul there, just a little late. Free kick opportunity ultimately turns into a kick in out of bounds. Midwest with all of the ball so far, but this Lansing side not afraid to sit back and allow a team to make a mistake and take over and then punish them for it. So definitely one of the rotational plays we've seen out of this club over the first 4 games, but be sure to keep an eye on this Lansing City side because when they do get the ball, they're high-flying. Couple big names that have created some fan favorites even in the first few games, like who's on the ball now, David Saltzman and Jeremy Kleppal now on the ball as well. Another really big name in the FCS with his international experience. Kicking in a dangerous place here for Lansing. Conrad Gonzalez starting out in goal for Lansing City. A lot of times we see the youngster Ethan Castaneda start things off for the club, but it looks like Conrad will be getting things moving for us to begin the show tonight. We're seeing a lot of experience in this starting lineup for Lansing, who has a very young core of players with them. We got ourselves another kick in, this time for Midwest United. Midwest about to start us back up. They go back to Jose Vicario for Midwest. A big part of why Midwest has the record that they do so far. He has been integral to their core of their defense and keeping them in these games. Now we see Kleppal with the ball. Long range shot from half court, but so dangerous down the middle, and you can see why. What an absolute rocket to get things started for Lansing with their first real offensive opportunity of the night. Corner kick led by David Saltzman. He goes for the scoop across to Jeremy. It's a little behind him. They have to reset, but still retaining the ball under a lot of pressure from Midwest. And it looks like they're going to say it went out of bounds there in an effort from Luciano Cernuda to keep it in play. Midwest now looking to make quick work, but a slip up on the other side. Now we see Josh Robinson's first touches on the ball. lot of back and forth so far between these two squads, both trying to get a handle on this game early. This is the second game of 3 for Midwest that are going to be high competition in this league. We saw them play Detroit Imperial in their last match, a game that Coach Gio Garcia said was very important to them in their run here through January, and getting that revenge from the loss to them in the finals in the series last year. I'm really curious to see how they use that momentum moving forward, but Gio says that his guys have been really good about focusing game to game and not getting too far ahead of themselves and looking ahead past important games like this one against Lansing City. And with such the intensity we saw at the Lansing City Arena back in December, you know that this is going to be a very, very important match for both teams. Looks like we've got a free kick just outside the arc. Coach Gio Garcia from Midwest taking a lot of his experience from rivals, and Fabian Garcia is a coach. Curious to see if they come up with something special on this set piece. They opt for a shot to the front, the near post, but it doesn't get through. Great save from Conrad Gonzalez in the defense there for Lansing City, but they're not out of the woods yet. More pressure from Midwest. Ultimately, it trickles out. Conrad gets to start things back off for Lansing and see what they can build up. Pardon us as we move through some technical difficulties here, but we'll have our full commentating crew with us here shortly. Jared Kleppal and Gerard Ascani will be joining us here very shortly. In the meantime, as we take a look here, a lot of back and forth play still from Lansing inside of Wyoming High School. Not the usual home for Midwest United, but they, with a local tournament, find themselves outside of Aquinas, but still the home match for them. Just 5 miles down the road from our last game, where Ole Futsal Club beat Jinga Futsal Sala 6-1, and now Midwest with a win tonight has a chance to move into first place in the league. Meanwhile, Lansing looking to get back to winning ways since their win against Midwest United. Great opportunity there from Lansing. It's still not out of the woods for Midwest, and now it looks like it hit the ceiling, and we will have ourselves a kick-in. Actually, excuse me, looks like the referees are calling a corner here. Quick corner from Lansing. Makes it all the way across to the backside. Quick shot. Oh, nearly a goal there. But not to be just yet for Lansing. Now Jeremy on the ball at half court. A couple of skill moves, finds his way down. And a quick shot that Jose Vicario is able to push away off the near post. Great counterattack here. Great shot opportunity for Midwest United. That was number 7, Cole Russell. Someone that Gio Garcia sees as a big leader in this team. We saw him get his first minutes of the season last game against Detroit Imperial. Cole Russell, very well known within the Grand Rapids community for his efforts on the futsal court, as well as his collegiate opportunities that he's seen with his skill level, now an assistant coach at a local college. But Cole Russell is a big part of the leadership team within Midwest and their players. alongside the likes of Jorge Saldanas and Daniel De Leon. And we see our first goal, and it is Cole Russell, who we're talking about. Incredible goal for Cole. He finds himself cutting across the middle. Lansing not able to regain their shape, and a beautiful shot to the back post. Great goal just past the halfway line. If you guys will enjoy the replay again here, take a look at this. Conrad just can't slide across quite fast enough to get that touch on the ball to push it away. Cole Russell, someone who has been known for his offensive output as well as his effort in between the arcs, so he is definitely going to be a big part of the storyline tonight, starting off strong with the first goal of the game. Now Jeremy Kleppel on the ball at half court. He finds Saltzman with a nice through ball. Midwest fighting for it on the touchline. Somehow still doesn't go out of bounds. A quick shot from Jeremy off of a deflection. And after a little bit more of a pinball action, we're back to a corner kick for Lansing City. I believe this is their fourth of the night already in the first 5 minutes. Midwest now with the kick in. Cole Russell on the ball. He opts to switch the court, and we see some rotation here. Over to Yosef Abdin. Midwest being patient, working the whole court to their advantage. We see some pressure from Jeremy Kleppel that ultimately leads to a kick in for Lansing on the opposite side. Excuse me, for Midwest. No, Lansing. Referee's trying to help us out here. Ultimately, the players sorted out with the officials. A little bit of honesty coming from Jeremy there that, hey, listen, that's a Midwest ball. Great high press from David Saltzman here for Lansing. Ultimately, a scoop finds its way to number 15 for Midwest United. Nearly disastrous in the long run there. Conrad Gonzalez able to get enough on it to push it out of bounds. Now for a dangerous corner kick that Lansing has to keep out after a strong effort from Conrad in between the pipes. Corner kick leads to a turnover. Quick cross for Lansing, ultimately dribbles out of bounds. Both teams here looking to get their grip on the game, but it has been a very back-and-forth affair so far. Another great effort from Lansing and some more back and forth. First foul for the Midwest United side here. Now we see a free kick in a dangerous area for Lansing. Jeremy Kleppel standing over the ball. He rips it through the middle. Ooh, very close to a back post opportunity, but Robeson is just a little far off the post to tap that in. To be fair, I'm not sure anyone wants to be there to deflect in a Jeremy Kleppel shot, but was very close opportunity there for Lansing, and plenty of signs of life from both teams here as they jockey for that control of the game. One of the things that got away from Lansing in the first match was the game got away from them early. This game doing a much better job of controlling things and keeping Midwest from getting their footing. Last time it resulted in a 6-goal differential that they had to dig out of.
And here come Gerard and Jared Kleppel. Jake, for doing that solo for a little while. We are now here at your service, coming to you courtside. We had a quick switch of the scenery coming from homeschool building. Now we are here courtside for this Lansing City and Midwest game. Midwest on top, 1-0 currently. We're going to have a foul here on Luciano Cernuda.
One thing to note here, we had an incredible atmosphere at our first location tonight in Grand Rapids, and Wyoming has not disappointed because this is another fantastic environment. We don't have the official stats yet. We're going to get it later for you tonight, but we have roughly around the same area of spectators, again, over 100. It's really great. The energy, excitement in this room is, on another level.
This one's going to be a corner for Midwest United. They're going all the way up to the point. It's Fikret Hasovic playing across all the way to number 14. Shot from Drew Barney on the Lansing City side. It's going to miss to the near post. Takes a deflection, so it's going to be a Lansing City kick. Currently on the floor right now for Lansing, Luciano Cernuda, number 17. He had that amazing goal in the arena several weeks ago. He's going to take the kick. Josh Robeson, Jeremy Kleppel, Drew Barney, Conrad Gonzalez in goal. The flick comes to Jeremy. He settles. Has quickly a man on him. Barney loops around him. The pass is not going to get all the way to him. A sliding tackle from Barney doesn't do it, and that one's going to be a goal for Midwest United. Number 6, Isaiah Myers, puts Midwest up 2-0 here with 12.5 to go in the first.
Early in this game, Midwest has been really impressive with their structure and their build-up play. They played really aggressively as a team, played well-structured, and caught Lansing City out twice now.
Now Lansing City's going to have another corner. Number 81, Jeremy Kleppel for Lansing City. Not happy with Drew Barney's play after giving up that goal. This one comes to Conrad Gonzalez. Leaves an empty net after giving away a goal. Giving the ball. And he's going to avoid an empty net goal. Oh, here's Drew Barney. Midwest United players looking for a handball. They're not going to get one. Instead, we're going to restart through Jose Vicario.
I don't get why they would be so frustrated with the no call on the handball there when they get possession of the ball. I don't know if I missed something on it, but really there'd be no real gain for them other than getting a spot kick at that point.
Now here is Kleppel bringing it out the back. Finds Saltzman on the near side. He's pressured heavily. Now Midwest the other way. It's a 2v2. A strike saved by the feet of Gonzalez, and he has to fall on it. Midwest United knocking at the door again. Isaiah Myers is there. Anthony Leon Garcia was there. Fikret Hasovic now going up. It's 3v1. Kleppel is able to deter that one.
Really great positioning by Kleppel. He understood where the play was. He not only shut down the shot opportunity, but he shut down the passing lane as well.
Here's Hasovic, defended by Barney. Lansing City showing high pressure. Nice little ball inside. Jonah Timblow able to collect that one, but he hits it over the end line. It's going to be a Midwest corner. Gerardo Montañez was the one to take it. They're going to give it away to Lansing City. Through the hands of Gonzalez. They go up the court to Kleppel. Kleppel makes a move. He's stopped stone cold in his tracks. Midwest comes the other way. A 2v3, a strike to the far post. That one looked good. Gonzalez got down to hit that one away. We see some substitutes coming on for Lansing City. Oliver Timblow's out there, Elijah Vu, Jonah Timblow, David Saltzman rounding that one out. First-time strike for Midwest United. Gerardo Montañez. Lansing City are going to get a much-needed break after Midwest United calls the first timeout of the game with 10:48 to go. Gerard, Lansing City kind of looking a little bit discombobulated out there in this first 10 minutes.
Yeah, they are. You know, one of the things interesting, Drew Barney, this is his first action in a while with the team. He's missed a few games. Jack Fisher is missing tonight, so with one of the standout performers of the team not here, and then them trying to integrate Drew Barney back into the flow of the game, you can see they have some challenges that they need to figure out early in this match.
This is a good time to – oh, go ahead, Jake.
I was just saying, as you guys were setting up, one of the big things about this match is, you know, back in December when we saw these two teams play each other, Midwest came up really flying and was able to rack up several goals. But this time it's been a very back-and-forth affair at the very beginning as the teams are trying to settle in and find their groove. So already a very different feel to this game compared to what we saw at the arena.
Good time to take a moment to let you know about our sponsor for tonight's match. This game is brought to you by Ally Marketing. You're looking for a business growth partner for your business. Ally Marketing is that friend to come alongside you, teammate and friend to help propel your business forward. AllyMarketing.us, A-L-L-Y marketing.us. Back to the action. Here's Cole Russell, left-footed strike. It's stopped by Conrad Gonzalez. That left foot of his, so strong, so often in Cole Russell. That's his second game this year. And I believe, Jake, the likes of Cole Russell, we've seen him in an Olay uniform before. Is that correct?
That's right. We talked, as you guys were setting up, about Cole Russell and his impact on the Grand Rapids community, someone that's very well known here in Grand Rapids for his efforts, been a part of a couple of championship squads over at Olay, and also been involved in the arena soccer scene as well. And he started things off the way we're used to seeing him, with a goal to open up the game. And he's just been such an integral part to this team. Gio Garcia talked to us midweek about his group of guys and the leaders that are starting to emerge as we get about halfway through the season here, and Cole Russell being one of them. Just a natural leader in that squad that the guys look up to.
On the court currently for Midwest United, Jose Vicario in goal. Cole Russell, Jorge Saldanas, Gerardo Montañez as well. Lansing City making some substitutes on the defense. They're showing high pressure. We've seen that time and time again. And there he is, number 3, David Saltzman. He's been known on the Lansing City side just to be, he puts his body on the line over and over, Gerard.
Always putting his body on the line. It's really awesome to see his level of energy and excitement that he brings to the game. His commitment to do what the team needs is outstanding.
Here is Kleppel getting some space inside, left-footed strike. Won't get through. Now Barney working with Kleppel. Crispane and Vu are on the post, and Kleppel doesn't need them this time. Watch out. A flaming ball of fire to the top left corner. Lansing City gets their first one of the night. Kudos to Jeremy Kleppel.
I was just about to make the mistake and say Lansing City needed to do some more creative movements and off-the-ball structure. Jeremy's made that comment, null and void, and he puts it in the back of the net with ease.
Now Lansing City, perhaps another chance to strike. It's Trezor Crispane with the turn up there in that pivot position. He's such a strong player up there for Lansing City. We've seen him receive the ball with his back to goal, turn and get a strike. And here he is again, going 1v1, trying to get by the defender. He gets some space. He finds Cernuda to Barney on the other side, and they can't get anything. But it's going to be back into the possession of Lansing City before they just give it away there. Kick in for Midwest near the half line.
Love to see the movement and effort there. It is great to have Crispane back, too. He missed their last game, and the offense really stalled because of not having that control and possession up top at the pivot position, and so it's great to have him back, and let's see how we can impact this game. Oh, fancy footwork from Luciano.
Oh, he was looking for the far post. Looks like we're going to have our first foul of the match, and it's a caution. I think that was number 9, Eduardo Mendez. I think he got called for maybe a little tug on the jersey, tactical foul there.
It was, and Luciano played through it well and even got a shot on target with that. Really outstanding skill demonstration right there from Luciano.
So set piece now for Lansing City. Kleppel's standing over. He's got a 2-man wall. If you're in that wall, you hope that ball does not come your way. Some people call him Thunder Thighs. I call him my brother. He's got Barney at the top, Luciano Cernuda on the far, and Crispane in the middle comes to him. His touch is not able to go anywhere, unfortunately for him, and Midwest escape there. We've certainly seen a shift in play since the timeout, Gerard.
We have, yeah. Lansing City has brought a lot more energy coming out of that timeout. Jeremy has a lot of tradition and history in the futsal community, so his experience and wisdom shows after those timeouts.
Here is Cernuda trying to take on a defender again, not able to do so. Yosef Abden not letting him through. Kleppel gets some space, forces another save out of Jose Vicario. He's already scored one like that. He's going to have more chances. Oh, a little confusion as Midwest trying to sub. I think that was number 15, Pedro Aguillon, coming off the court, and his teammate in the back in that fixo position thought he was still a live player, so it's going to be a turnover. Crispane with 2 defenders on him. He keeps it in. To Saltzman, now to Kleppel. Kleppel faces up against Jay Wenrich. Little touch inside. Finds a shot. I think that took a deflection. It's going to be a corner for Lansing City. Drew Barney's going to take it. Crispane comes in the middle. It gets through to Kleppel. To Saltzman on the other side. Can he find Crispane? He does, but the defense holds up for Midwest United. And Lansing City now looking to have another attack. Kleppel inside, a toe poke. He finds the top shelf. You had to think one was coming. They were under so much pressure, Midwest, and they concede another one. It's a tie game, 2-2.
Interesting that the Midwest timeout has been the turning point for this game for Lansing City. Since then, 2 goals from Jeremy, both of them very familiar plays that we've seen from him, finding the middle, moving past the defender, and opening up those shot lanes. Amazing pair of goals so far.
And I think, Gerard, this is what happens when, Lansing City, it's a one-on-one. Cernuda has a defender on his back. That's good. Track back defense, number 14. It doesn't look like we have a 14 on our roster sheet. I'm trying to rack my brain on what that face looks like. I think I've seen him.
Yeah, he does look familiar, and that was a really outstanding defensive effort there. That was going to be a goal by Luciano. He puts those away with ease, so that saved a goal out absolutely right there.
Timeout, Lansing City, 7:51 to go. It's 2-2 now. Don't forget to follow FCS on social media channels, Facebook, Instagram, of course here on YouTube. If you are watching for the first time, hit that subscribe button. It really helps us in our journey to grow the game of futsal in the United States. You can also follow your favorite teams as well, Lansing City, Midwest United. Both these teams, they're on social media as well, so feel free to give them a follow. Help us grow this exciting sport in America.
Oh, it looks like number 14 is Daniel De Leon. That's why he looks familiar. We have seen him.
I wanted to say, but I've never seen him in 14 before, so I was like, I don't know if I know him well enough. But there he is, De Leon. He played a very big role in the last game, Lansing City, when they hosted and lost by 2. He was definitely a name that we called more than once in that one. As we have the teams wrapping up here for the timeout, stepping back onto the floor with just under 8 minutes to go. We'll see what happens after this timeout. The last one, called by Midwest, did not go in their favor, and now Lansing City calls one. What do you think is next, Jake?
You know, there's opportunity here with where the ball is for some special plays, maybe setting up a set piece. But Lansing got their foot on the gas at the moment, and what a great way to keep it going. It's tough to decide when to place these timeouts. Do you want to take away the momentum in that 60 seconds, or do you want to create something special? In this case, let's see what we get out of this corner kick.
Lansing City in possession. Barney with one on him. Finds Kleppel. Kleppel back to Barney. A good find. Oh, a left-footed toe poke. He was trying to go up to the top shelf again, where Lansing City have scored both their goals from the foot of Kleppel, but instead it's a restart from Vicario.
Yeah, something that's really interesting to see here is Jeremy Kleppel's ability to put the ball in the back of the net from anywhere on the court really opens up the court for the rest of the team. He put Drew Barney in a position there to make an excellent shot just because Midwest is, at this point, scared of that right foot of Jeremy Kleppel.
A conversation going on between the referee and Luciano Cernuda. Kleppel had something to say as well. Now Midwest United with their first spell of possession in a little while. Doesn't last very long. Gonzalez restarts. Saltzman on the near side. Up to Barney. He's not able to control it. Drew Barney, one of the star Youth Academy players for Lansing City. He's been off on injury for the last few weeks. Good to see him back on the court tonight, making an impact for the Lansing City side. He's no stranger to futsal. He's had the opportunity to play in some opportunities overseas. Isn't that right, Jake?
Yeah, we've seen him play with the likes of national call-ups through unofficial programs in the United States that we have right now, and been in places like Portugal where the game is really well taken care of, and a lot of opportunity there to find some of the best talent in the world. And, man, it's shown. What a young guy, but he's got ages of futsal experience ahead of most of the grown men in this league and in this country.
And that one was David Saltzman with the near miss. Midwest United found themselves in trouble. Kleppel goes to the ground. Midwest United have it. Cernuda goes to the ground. Body's just hitting the floor right and left. Both teams putting it on the line in this 2-2 tie ball game so far. And that one's going to be an infraction for number 12, Anthony Leon Garcia. Ball has to be right on that touch line or kick line. We've had that conversation before. Touch line. Mm-hmm. They don't touch it, though. I mean, they place it, but we'll leave it at that and the debate for another day. But regardless, Lansing City is on the attack. They have a corner. Josh Robeson is going to take it. Elijah Vu on the far side, lurking.
And I would be remiss if we didn't take a moment to recognize Jose Vicario. That might have been the sweetest footwork I've ever seen from a goalie in futsal on that last possession from them.
And a sweet save for the other keeper. Gonzalez getting his paws on it. Lansing City still high pressing. Here's De Leon. Defended by Elijah Vu. He thinks he got it. Fourth official, third, actually I think it's only third, but third official is going to chime in and say that's Lansing City ball.
And that was the correct call. It did bounce off his thigh before going out of play.
We're going to have a foul against Midwest United. Luciano Cernuda hitting the court. He's calling for a sub. He's going to take a breather real quick. Tresor Crispain coming out. And that's a substitution. From a Midwest United perspective, you just lose, right? Cernuda comes off, Crispain comes in. Both of those players are dangerous attackers in their own right.
Yeah, one of the things I do love to see out of both of them is they have different play styles. So it's really causing Midwest to have to change and adjust on the fly. Crispain's much more possession-oriented, letting the play flow through him.
Hazovic is pleading for his life in this one. Oh, Crispain off the post.
If we're keeping track here, that's the second time Crispain's hit the post tonight.
He's 2 for 2 in post shots, if that counts for anything. I heard a coach say one time it takes more precision and accuracy to hit the post, but you don't get any goals from it. Elijah Vu with the slide. Midwest United is yelling for a handball. They're not going to get it.
Let the replay show that Jeremy Kleppel saved a goal right there. Conrad Gonzalez had come out of goal earlier on that play, and Kleppel played as a pseudo goalkeeper, basically locking down the angle so that Midwest could not score. So outstanding work. He didn't end up actually doing anything outside of the block of the shot, but it's amazing to see him understanding and recognizing where to be, when to be there to save the goal.
Corner kick from Midwest. And during that break in the action, real quick, Daniel De Leon received a caution. Didn't look like he did anything on the court. I think it was just for dissent. Talking a little too much for the referee's liking. And here he is. Oh, he was looking up the court to Isaiah Meyer in that pivot position. We're going to see a little bit of substitution going on for Midwest United. Cole Russell enters.
So that was the third time that De Leon had argued with a call. And so oftentimes it's not the first or second infraction, but the third that finds you with the caution.
Midwest United want a little more space. Fikret Hazovic with Cole Russell. A little roll to the left foot of Russell that we've seen so many cannons out of. I know, Gerard, you weren't at that last one, but Cole Russell, this is his second game with Midwest United this year. He's got 4 shots and a goal today.
Jake, earlier we talked about Olay and their outstanding set pieces. That really looked like a fantastic work of art. I have to wonder if any of that translation came from playing with Olay and the Grand Rapids connection.
There's certainly a part of that. Gio coming from Fabian's Olay and ABK prior to that, he's got a lot of experience and has been a big part of that. But one of the things I think is interesting about that team is it goes deeper than that. A lot of these players have Olay connections, so Grand Rapids is a very tight futsal community. Everybody knows each other. Everyone's played each other. Most of these guys have played together in some form of capacity, whether it be street soccer with the Soccer Rebellion or if it's futsal on the courts from the time you're a kid to an adult. So a lot of familiarity, a lot of similar skill sets across Grand Rapids in that way.
That chip from Kleppel on the sideline is going to cause Jose Vicario to come out and claim it. He kicks it long as he was out of his arc, and it hits a light. The light swings a little bit, but all the bulbs are staying in there, Gerard.
Yeah, Jake, I am familiar with some of the futsal rules, not all of them. In these situations where the ball hits the top of the roof, what is the situation or call there? Do you know?
Yes, so anytime that we have a connection with the ceiling or any other utilities up there, it's going to be a kick-in from the touch line in line with where it hit the ceiling.
So that one goes to Midwest United. They have a corner now. Lansing City defending it. Elijah Vu's there. Saltzman's there. Lansing City wanted it to be their ball. Referee says nope. And now Vu wins it for them to the dismay of Fikret Hazovic. This official here on the near side needing to be quite active with the players. He's facing a lot of, I don't know if I'd call it backlash, just facing a lot of contention in his calls and decisions with the players so far.
Let's just say there's a lot of excitement right now.
A lot of excitement right now.
A lot of excitement. One of the things, Jake, you mentioned this very often. Futsal is a very physical sport. We're seeing it once again tonight, a lot of physicality. Is this starting to get out of hand? Are the refs going to have to do something between the dissent and the pushing and shoving?
I hope not. I hope they let this game flow. I think that was part of the problem in the last match is we had a really, really good game, and the referees, towards the end, I think felt like they were losing control of the game. But the reality is it had a very good flow, and I think it actually disrupted the game more when they got more involved. Let the boys play. Let's see how this goes. I think if it's not in an extreme, then we need to kind of see this continue. That's what makes these matches kind of special in my mind, is the physicality of them. Futsal is an amazing sport. It can lean from a very finesse moment to a very physical moment, and I want to see that flow happen. Now, in the case of someone like Daniel De Leon, who's now on a yellow on his descent, a common theme for him, unfortunately, he's seen a couple of silly yellow cards, in my opinion, so far this season. Then he's gotten them early in the game, which forces him to change his leadership style as a vocal voice on this court, and now he's got to be mindful for more than 1.5 halves, 3/4 of the game because of a silly dissent.
Now here is Kleppel, defended by Russell, gets by him, a second one, he goes down, and it's going to be a foul called on Russell. The bench of Midwest hates it, the players hate it.
Yeah, and that is exactly what we were just talking about. The level of physicality is going up a notch with every touch of the ball. Cole Russell was not happy with that call. It was a physical takedown. Jeremy's not one to go to ground without reason.
Now here is Kleppel over the ball. He's going to find Chris Spain. Chris Spain into the back of the net. They had three players in that wall. The goalkeeper was thinking about it too. Chris Spain basically wide open there and puts it into the back of the net. It's 3-2 Lansing.
Yeah, we talked about that earlier, the way that Jeremy's right foot opens up opportunities for the rest of the team. Midwest was really scared and cautious with him being on the ball that close to the arc. Dangerous opportunity. He puts Chris Spain in a wonderful spot to put it home.
And Russell going shoulder to shoulder with Cernuda there. Talking about the physical play. We are seeing that on both sides. And we'll see how this continues to develop with just under 4 minutes to go in half number one. Very dangerous ball from Saltzman. Almost resulting in a goal for Midwest. Now Cernuda with his back to goal, keeping it up. Barney, a couple of touches. Russell is there. Saldanas is there. Jorge Saldanas, captain for this Midwest team. Trying to get some, he's clapping his hands and trying to get himself going, his team going, trying to be in the zone and focus. And Vicario with a great save on that strike from Kleppel on that far side.
Instant high press from Lansing here out of this kick-in, too. I'm interested at how high up the court they are. But they're doing a pretty good job of tracking back. Something that we kind of criticized, I kind of criticized Jenga for in the last match, was not getting back fast enough. But, early in the game still. But fresher legs. But we're seeing that they're getting back and making the most of that, making sure it doesn't turn into a counter with numbers for Midwest.
We'll continue to see how that plays out on both sides. High pressure is something that we see from Lansing City very, very often. Talking with their coach and players, their philosophy, they like to accelerate the game as much as possible. They like to minimize the amount of time the other team has to make decisions and make them uncomfortable. So we're seeing that high pressure, as you pointed out, Jake. And we'll see if Midwest can take advantage of that or if Lansing City will maintain that positive pressure as Fikret Hasovic was looking to turn on Kleppel. And there's a deflection on that try, and it's going to be out for a Midwest corner. Jorge Saldanas trots over to take it.
Hasovic there with an incredible display of balance and strength. He was able to maintain possession of the ball and make a turn and at least put a decent effort with Kleppel on him tight.
Little pause and play here. Looks like the referee was marking out the amount of space. Lansing City players not too happy with how it was going.
Kleppel has had a couple of opportunities to explain the rules to the referees tonight.
Now here is Gonzalez. He finds Kleppel. Kleppel into the attacking half. He faces Fikret Hasovic. Ball inside to Barney. A turn and a strike is going to take a deflection from Anthony Leon Garcia. Lansing City will have a corner.
For viewers at home wondering what the conversation with the referees was about, it was about the spacing from the free kick. So in futsal, you have to be 5 meters away. And that 5 meters is not necessarily a straight line parallel to the ball. It's kind of like an arc, like a circle. So if you think about a radius in a circle, you'd be 5 meters away in any direction. And so that was the conversation that Kleppel was having with the official. Kleppel was right as well.
And it's not the first time that the players have been talking with the referees about spacing. Actually, on the goal earlier, when Kleppel found Chris Spain, there was a conversation about that. With 2.5 to go, here's Lansing City on the attack. Luciano Cernuda, faced up by Cole Russell. He goes backwards. Now finding Robinson just inside the top of the arc. Opportunity there, but doesn't develop. Not a great touch from Robinson there. Now Midwest are on the attack. Leon Garcia's up there. He's going to take a strike. Gonzalez right at that near post, not letting anything through. It'll restart from his hands. A lob to Cernuda off his head. Just a little bit wide there from Cernuda.
So one of the things that's different from the long cross-court passes that we saw earlier tonight, there was not the positioning to do anything with them when Jingo would play those balls out from the back. But that was a really great communication between Conrad Gonzalez and Luciano that almost resulted in a goal.
Here is Daniel De Leon going to the far side. Finds Leon Garcia. Elijah Vu takes it from him. Now Kleppa with it, find himself in a double to Vu. And Chris Spain trying to go across the middle. Looks like he was pushing a player on the inside, and Coach Gio Garcia.
Yeah, they are livid, Midwest is. So Chris Spain pushed Isaiah Myers in the back. Questionable whether or not it should have been a foul call. Midwest definitely wanted to see the foul there, but the official did not agree.
It looked like it kind of from our angle that it would be, but the momentum was going this way, and it's hard to tell if there was, a little bit of embellishment going on or not. But Chris Spain, definitely a tough player, and I think Midwest right now feel like they have been undercut with a few calls that they think should have gone their way. And we see that frustration again from Cole Russell slamming the court with his hand after he goes down there. Now, I didn't see any kind of foul in that one, but Midwest United, it seems like they really feel like they're getting hit around as Kleppel has a very dangerous strike there, and Vicario shaking his right hand after saving that one.
Elijah Vu also wanted a foul call there, too. He hit the deck, and he did not get one. So you can see the physicality is going up a notch as it continues to get more and more physical as this game goes on.
Chris Spain adding his physicality to the game with Fikret Hasovic. This one's going to go out for a Midwest kick with just over a minute to go in half number one. Intensity still high here at Wyoming High School. Wyoming, Michigan, just outside of Grand Rapids. This ball going into the pivot for Lansing. Chris Spain was fighting for it. He's not there. But Lansing, they are giving Midwest that high pressure tonight. There's no doubt about it. Hasovic deep in his own territory. Finds De Leon. Vu is there. Chris Spain trying to collect that one. He can't. And Coach Gio Garcia still having conversations with the officials here, not happy with the lack of calls that he has seen.
De Leon was very upset with that call just there. He had some words for the officials. He's already on a caution, so regardless if it was or was not a foul, he needs to be careful with how he responds to calls.
Oh, and Daniel De Leon. Oh, my. He's going to wish he had that one back. Just a few feet from the goal, and he puts that one high and wide. That could have very easily been the equalizer. As we have a stoppage in play, David Saltzman for Lansing City was down on the other end. He's walking off the court gingerly. He's going to find a substitute. Looks like Josh Robeson is going to be coming in.
Jake, we've talked about this a few times now with this physicality continuing to increase throughout the game. You've mentioned just letting the boys play. Where do you draw the line? Like, where do we say enough is enough and it's time to start blowing that whistle?
Well, simply put, I think when it's malicious, and so far it's not been. It's been the flow of the game for me. So I'm still liking what I'm seeing. I like that the referees haven't gotten too involved in that. The little bit of hands back and forth, for example, that we saw between Fikret Hasovic and Lansing, and on the opposite side between Chris Spain and I believe actually it might have been Fikret on the opposite side. I like it. That's the kind of stuff we see in Spain and Portugal that is that classic pivot versus fixo battle. And in a lot of cases, the fixo is given a lot of flexibility in how handsy they can be compared to the pivot. And sometimes a lot of people say that there is a bias towards the fixo in those situations. I like that the referees are letting this go right now.
And I think the key here is for both teams when you're in this environment and physical play is being let go, can you keep your head and can you keep your emotions under control? Because it can
Yes.
very easily turn into something that no one wants to see, as Lansing City is going to have an opportunity here almost as time expires in half number one. Luciano Cernuda was looking for Robertson there. But that's going to wrap up half number one. Lansing City on top 3-2. Very high action, fast-paced, physical game. Gerard, it's been exciting so far.
It really has. You know, Jake, you mentioned this a couple of times about the history, the tradition of Olay and in the Grand Rapids area. We know Gio Garcia came from Olay as a player and a coach. And we think about just this community and how much involvement there are from the fans, from the youth academies. What has Grand Rapids done to be able to be this successful with futsal?
That's a great question. Whatever it is, I wish I could bottle it and take it all over the country, because what's going on in Grand Rapids is super special. And I think, I look at, Midwest, formerly Migos, and I look at Olay, and they're both clubs that have been around forever. So, Migos finding their way into the Midwest United portfolio, a soccer organization that's gotten really aggressive in the Grand Rapids area about, acquiring people and moving into different arenas of the sport at different levels over the last couple of years. We see a lot of that in soccer across the country right now. And then on the opposite side, an Olay Futsal Club that, that entity in of itself is purely futsal. But a lot of that stems from it being purely futsal for so long, Migos being purely futsal for so long, and really creating a futsal culture that I think is missing in a lot of other places in the country to solidify something special that could build into what they have today.
We're going to have more thoughts from half number one as well as some stats. But first, this message from our sponsor, Ally Marketing. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Wyoming, Michigan. Game 2 of our doubleheader here in Grand Rapids. Lansing City currently on top of Midwest United, score 3-2. I'm Jared Klepp along with Gerard Escani courtside. Jake George in his studio in Ohio. A couple of stats I want to point out from the first half. When I look at the stat sheet, I see two things that jump out to me right away. Jose Vicario, goalkeeper for Midwest United, 12 saves. Conrad Gonzalez with 9. Cole Russell, 6 shots. Jeremy Kleppel with 8 and 2 goals and assists. Add a goal in there for Cole Russell as well. We're going to see a goalkeeper change on the Midwest side. We're going to see Miguel Cervantes coming in. And Jake, all those saves from Vicario, how valuable is it that he can swap out and have a fresh keeper in for Midwest in this half number 2?
We say this about a couple of the teams in FCS, but we talk about this goalkeeper core and lineup, and Miguel joining and this team as a free agent just a few weeks ago has made a big difference in the depth chart for these guys. Vicario has been a great number 1 for this Midwest United side. He's kept them in a lot of games. Miguel Cervantes brings a different style of play as well. So curious to see how this goes. We've talked a lot about the similarities between Midwest and Ole and kind of the culture and their influences. And I think you're going to find that similarly, we're going to see a lot from Midwest where they play 2 different goalkeepers, one each half. And it's just because the depth of talent in Grand Rapids is there. Cervantes more of a flying keeper style goalie. I'd be curious to see if they utilize that early to try and get that goal back and get things moving back in their direction to start half number 2.
So, Jake, the old cliche is if you have 2 quarterbacks, you have none. Does that cliche translate to goalkeepers in futsal?
I was trained in futsal by a very biased individual about goalkeepers, but goalkeepers are the most important position on the court. So it takes a real special person to get in between the pipes in that arc and take this really dense futsal ball to the face all day. You saw Jose take a couple, in the top of his chest, around his shoulders. You're getting shot at the head over and over. You got someone like a Jeremy Kleppel, like a Chris Payne, just taking absolute rockets at you all day long. And so, to find an individual with that kind of mindset that there's just zero fear, it's worth its weight in gold. It really is.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to be on the end of one of those shots coming from Jeremy Kleppel, especially Chris Payne as well. Speaking of Chris Payne, he hit the post twice tonight. What are we looking forward to seeing from him in the second half?
Chris Payne's someone that was really important to the Lansing comeback in the last game that got them back in the game. Team was, to me, looking a little flat as they got down by 5-6 goals, trying to find a way to kind of recreate some energy in that game. And I think that Chris Payne was the spark plug that team needed. He got up at that pivot position. I think Jared mentioned early on that, he really brings an energy and a passion to the court. He's never say die attitude up there, never gives up on a 50-50. And that was just what Lansing needed. And in a game like today, where they started off on the right foot, a lot of jockeying for power in that first half of half number 1. And then as they settled in, Chris Payne was really integral to creating opportunities, even if not for himself, by his positioning and his effort to create those shooting lanes for the likes of Jeremy.
Midwest United players coming out for the second half. They are out on the court, ready to go. Lansing City getting the final huddle. Jeremy Kleppel getting them going. Let's take a look at who we have on the floor for these 2 squads to start the second half. We mentioned on the Midwest side, Miguel Cervantes going in goal. Daniel De Leon, number 14. We got number 12, Anthony Leon Garcia. Number 10, Fikret Hasevich. And number 4, Yosef Abdin. Excuse me, I think that's number 6, Isaiah Myers. Yes, it is. And on the Lansing City side, Luciano Cernuda, number 17. Number 3, David Saltzman. 10, Drew Barney. 81, Jeremy Kleppel. Conrad Gonzalez still in goal for them. He's had a big night. Had to make 9 saves so far. 2 have gone through. And here we go, half number 2. See if we pick up right where we left off. We left off with high intensity. physical play. Midwest is getting it started for us in half number 2. Here's Isaiah Myers trying to find some space. He does get a shot, finds its way all the way to Conrad Gonzalez, and it's going to be deflected out for a Midwest United corner. First corner of half number 2 is going to be wasted. 17 seconds in, Midwest United not able to utilize that. From the hands of Gonzalez all the way up to Cernuda, it's headed away. Barney tried to bring it down. Finally gets to the court through David Saltzman. His pass to Cernuda just a little bit off. It's going to be De Leon to hit this one back in. Hasevich comes over. Cervantes is flying. Left-footed strike, save from Conrad Gonzalez.
Conrad coming up with a couple big saves at the beginning of this half. Great effort from him. He's had to get down on this hard floor a couple of times and get uncomfortable. Like we talked about how important these goalkeepers are. Conrad keeping the flow in Lansing's direction so far, but Midwest doing everything they can to change that.
Another outstanding save from Conrad Gonzalez.
That's another one from him. 12 on the night for Conrad Gonzalez. Kleppel now on the near side. Looks inside to Drew Barney. Barney with his back to goal. De Leon is on him. Excuse me, that's Myers. Myers to kick this one in. Finds Kleppel. A good first-time touch. Luciano Cernuda with some space. His left-footed strike takes a deflection, and it is saved by Miguel Cervantes. A lot of experience in the net for Midwest United. Miguel Cervantes, possibly the most veteran player in the whole league of the FCS. Don't have the age sheet in front of me, but he certainly has been around the game here for quite some time. Spent some time on a couple of different teams. ABK back in the day, Grand Rapids Ole, Midwest United.
Jake, you were spot on, too, with the differential play from Cervantes. It's been interesting to see him, not only with his distribution, but the way that he's pushing forward, is flying the keeper as well.
And here he is, Miguel Cervantes dribbling up across half. Isaiah Meyer, it's just out of his reach.
Isaiah Meyer, someone he's really familiar with as well. A lot of guys on this team that have had playing time with Miguel over the years inside of other clubs like Ole. And so you're going to see a lot of this. You're going to see a lot of these connections that look really smooth and natural, even though it's only his second game with the team. And it's because he knows these guys. It's just that simple.
Here's De Leon. Finds his teammate on the far side. Leon Garcia, a little bit not quite on the same page as De Leon. So it's going to go out for a sideline kick in. Josh Robeson to take it. Finds Barney checking into the middle. He faces up. Playing with Robeson. Right back to him. Not quite there. Midwest the other way. 2v1. Robeson's coming back. Barney's coming back. The ball comes across. And Gonzalez with another sliding save. He's got 4 already in half number 2.
De Leon was a little slow to make the decision there when to pass. He had Fikrovich streaking up the middle of the court, but he hesitated, and Kleppel was able to shut down the passing lane.
So now Lansing City with a kick in deep in their own territory. To Gonzalez, it's at his foot. Pressure from Hasevich nearly forces a great attack for them, but now Hasevich defending Kleppel. He's able to win a kick in. Hasevich with his back to goal. He turns and faces. Finds Daniel De Leon. De Leon to Isaiah Myers. He turns back, double coming. It's going to be hit over the end line. Corner kick. Isaiah Myers to take it. Hasevich defended by Cernuda, and Barney tried to take away that square ball. Ooh, that one could have been dangerous. De Leon wasn't quite there. It went all the way to Fikret Hasevich, and his blast of a strike goes far over the top of the frame. That's his 5th shot on goal today. Oh, Cernuda, can he control this one? Not this time. Right back the other way. Hasevich. Gonzalez is there. Another key one from him. Now Hasovic trying to find a way in the middle. It's deflected by Cernuda unintentionally toward the keeper. Gonzalez from his hands back to Cernuda up top. A double team. He tries to split him. Dribble was too much. Now Lansing City showing high pressure. Do they win this corner? Yes, they do. Ball was over the end line. No? Yes? Yes, it's going to be a corner for Lansing City. Ball was already over the end line, much to the dismay of Fikret Hasovic. He is still arguing that call. Even the Lansing City players were a little bit unclear on what that call was. I think maybe they couldn't see the referee pointing down at the spot there. Not able to be controlled by Elijah Vu on the other side.
If Rasheed Wallace was here, he would say the ball don't lie.
Ball don't lie. Here's Cervantes. He's coming up, gets across half, a little toe poke, takes a deflection. So we're going to have a corner kick here for Midwest United.
Fun fact about Conrad Gonzalez, you watch him in net and you would think that he is a lifetime goalkeeper with the background of Cervantes. He has just put on an incredible show tonight, and he has only been a goalie for a couple of years now. So the amount of effort and growth that he's shown as a player is really remarkable.
And now that you brought it up, I have to say, very sorry, Conrad Gonzalez. When I mentioned Miguel Cervantes maybe being the oldest player in the league, I totally forgot that you were in the league, and I'm pretty sure that you have that pretty handily. I know Conrad, I'm sure he'll forgive me for saying that. Here is Midwest. Strike from De Leon. Oh, Anthony Leon Garcia tried to get a deflection on it, nearly did. Midwest on the attack. Miguel Cervantes flying up. He leaves the open goal. Oliver Timble trying to take advantage, but it's far off the mark. He steps off the court.
Knowing Conrad, I would take it as a compliment that his youth is recognized.
He's aging like a fine wine, as they say. Both sides doing some switching up there. Midwest, almost a whole line switch, it looks like. Cole Russell, Jorge Saldanas, captain of the squad. Boris Lalich.
Well, for those that don't know, Conrad Gonzalez has ties to St. Augustine because he did find the Fountain of Youth.
Did he? Both teams trying to find the back of the net in this one. This half so far, they haven't. 4 minutes gone. Still 3-2. Lansing is on top. This one comes to Miguel Cervantes. Ooh, deflected off Chris Payne, nearly into the back of the net. We're seeing Miguel Cervantes very comfortable to fly up the court, almost to his demise more than once. Now here's Midwest. Lansing City getting back. Jorge Saldanas trying to find his teammate at the far post. Gerardo Montañez unable to do so.
It's always the gamble that you play as a goalkeeper when you become more aggressive and go up the court and commit more to the offensive attack. Well, Jeremy Kleppel, he puts the attack right into play right there, putting it in the back of the net. Using his left foot, what an outstanding effort. He has put a couple in the back of the net with his right foot, but he's going for the natural hat trick. We just need a header from him tonight to seal the deal.
So that is the hat trick for Kleppel. 3 goals and assists tonight. He's played a part in all 4 of them for Lansing City.
Did that go off the chest of Miguel as I was looking at that replay?
I don't believe it did.
No, it might have just been a
right
glitch
by
on my
him.
side. It was hard to tell because as Miguel was turning his chest, it was kind of like right in flow, so it's hard to tell for sure. But
well,
looks
Jake,
like he might have got caught just a little bit overcommitted on that near post.
We have a term that has been coined for shots like that, and it was a rocket. No doubt about it.
It was a rocket.
Absolutely.
It's not off. See the Rockets with Jeremy Kleppel's left foot, but that was really remarkable.
Now Lansing City maybe not done yet. No, they are not.
Wow.
Another easy one for Trezor Crispin.
Caught the defense sleeping on Midwest United. Look at this formation, a little off-center for these guys. 2 players commit to Jeremy, looking for that double, expecting him to pull to the middle. And look at what it's created. Wide open space down the middle. Miguel not happy with his defense on that one, way out of whack, and easy tap in there.
It's gonna be his second of the night for Trezor Crispane. 5 goals for Lansing City. They're on top by 3 now. If I'm not mistaken, I think this is their largest lead of the season outside of the Midwest game at home.
I believe that's correct. Yep.
It really speaks to what Crispane gives you as well in attack. He's able to be such a physical presence in the middle of the court, to be able to control the ball and put a remarkably fast, quick turnaround to put the ball into the back of the net.
I would say this morning, though, Midwest United has been in this position several times before in the season where they've been down by multiple goals and they find a way to get back into matches. Perfect example was that home opener against Olay Futsal Club where they were down by multiple goals on multiple occasions and came out with points. And just like that, we see them bring one back.
That was going to be number 6, Isaiah Myers, finding the back of the net for Midwest. His second goal of the match. A much-needed breath of life for Midwest United. After going up 2-0, I believe. We had seen 5 straight goals from Lansing City, so that one puts Midwest back into the score sheet for half number 2. They currently trail 5-3. Do they have another one here? A turn from Fikret Hasovic, and it finds the back of the net. Just like that, the 3-goal lead is down to 1. You were saying it, Jake.
This team never says die, and they've proven it all season long. Whenever there's been adversity, they've stuck with it. They've stuck to the plan and found a way to get back into games. Even when they were giving up the big lead they had against Lansing in the arena, they found a way to come back and bounce back multiple times, come out with the 3 points. Expect this team to play every second of the match.
We'll see how both teams respond here. That goal from Fikret Hasovic, his 6th shot of the night and his first time he's broken through. Midwest United have life. We're going to have a foul called here as Daniel De Leon was kind of riding Drew Barney down that sideline. Not a very blatant foul, you might say, but probably an important one nonetheless.
Yeah, it definitely impacted the play and his flow of the game. So you like to see those calls. It wasn't malicious, as Jake would say, but it definitely impacted his flow and his progress.
De Leon is on a yellow card. Something to keep in mind. Here we go, Miguel Cervantes flying up again, and we are going to get a whistle here. Handball on Lansing City. Just kind of taking a bad deflection. Midwest plays it early. De Leon on the far side. Looking into Hasovic. Hasovic to Leon Garcia. He's playing with Isaiah Myers, a left-footed strike. Gonzalez is there. Coach Matt Alashari loves it. Now high pressure from Midwest United. Clapper with it at his foot. Anthony Leon Garcia standing him up. Clapper with a little bit of space, a left-footed strike. Did it take a deflection? No, it didn't. It's going to be from the hands of Miguel Cervantes. He goes high up the court very quickly. Robeson hits the deck. And he's going to come right off the court, find a sub after that one.
And that is another foul on De Leon. That's his second in the matter of minutes. We just talked about him being on a caution already. If he gets another yellow card, that would be a red, and he would be out of the game.
And he would miss at least one match. Midwest would have to play down a player for a maximum of 2 minutes. Anytime a red card is issued, that team goes down a player. Bad giveaway there. Lansing City facing a 3-on-1. They get out of it. Hanging on to that 1-goal lead with 12:25 to go.
Most critically about that risk of missing games too, guys, is the big rivalry game right around the corner next week against Olay. Not a match you want to be missing some of your key players for. De Leon is someone that Gio sees as a leader in this squad, someone who's really come out of their shell in the last couple of games as well, showing a bit more of his personality on the court and not being strictly business like he usually is, and something that Gio's really like to see to develop out of his leaders here on the court.
We have a strike going for goal. Was Fikret Hasovic on that free kick. Now Cernuda with a turn. It looked like he had a little bit of space there, but it's going to go over the end line. Now Cervantes looking high up the court. Saltzman's there. Squeezes out to Hasovic. Elijah Vu, can he keep it on the far side? He can't. Now here comes Midwest. They play quickly to the inside. Hasovic with his back to goal, trying to find Leon Garcia, and he does find the back of the net. 3 goals in just as many minutes. Midwest United pull even. It's 5-5.
Amazing play here to stick with it. Back to goal for, I believe that was Fikret that started out on the ball. And then he finds himself a nice pass back out. So important for Pivos to be able to stand that play up, give the Alas some opportunities to shoot. Perfect example right there.
Lansing City getting ready to make a couple of substitutions. Robeson, Crispain are waiting. Cernuda's going to come out for Crispain. Saltzman taking the kick on the far side. De Leon might be pushing it a little bit here. He's already on a yellow, and he's being told by the referee to back up. He was much too close. We'll see as the night goes on how he fares.
If I'm not mistaken, in the game at Lansing City, De Leon did get a second yellow for that exact situation, for encroaching on a spot kick or in a kick in. On a kick in. Yeah,
yep.
It happened right in front of us.
Yep, you're absolutely right.
And you know, it's interesting because on that foul earlier, Saltzman fouled De Leon, and De Leon was asking the official to caution Saltzman. And so you can see that the caution that De Leon received, the multiple fouls that he's already achieved in the second half, has not contributed to him changing his behavior or mentality in any way. So, you know, hopefully he doesn't get another card and change the flow of the game for Midwest.
This one comes out to Kleppel under heavy pressure from Hasovic. He finds Elijah Vu. Elijah Vu with some space, trying to turn it inside against Cole Russell. He slams the door, but Lansing City will have a kick in. Gonzalez sneaking up here. It's into Crispain instead. Very strong in the ball, but he's dispossessed. Now a strike from Hasovic. Gonzalez with a good save. The ball to Kleppel. De Leon is there. And we're going to have lots of talking going on the court and in the stands. De Leon goes down. Looks like it was a foul on Kleppel. Referee currently marking off those 5 meters. Dangerous free kick here for Midwest United.
De Leon asked for the card again against Kleppel. So he has now asked multiple officials for multiple cards.
And that one's going to be stopped by the wall of Lansing City. Was that a foul?
It was a foul, Jared.
Yeah, I think they did call a foul. Both teams starting to rack up some fouls in this half. Here's a corner from Midwest United. It's going to be saved at the near post from Gonzalez. $11 to go. Crispain fighting for it. He finds his way to Robeson. Robeson with a left-footed strike. It's going to be collected by Miguel Cervantes. Eduardo Mendez now with it. Hasovic still on the floor. A couple of other substitutions being made. Russell's out there. Lalich is there, and he has it now. And now off come Hasovic in favor of Josef Abden, and that's going to be a second touch on the keeper, Miguel Cervantes. Second time he used his touch while in the defending half, and that's going to end up in a free kick for Lansing City right in the top of the arc. Kleppel stands over it.
Did what he could to try and let that ball go. Ultimately didn't like the trajectory and was worried that was going to slide in if he didn't make the touch. Take the free kick and get a chance to maybe keep it out. We'll see what happens, if it was worth it or if it was just delaying a goal.
Here comes Kleppel. It is going to be in the back of the net.
But it didn't touch a player. That's an indirect kick, so that is not a goal.
No goal there. Smartly played by Cervantes and the Midwest defense.
Very intelligent. You saw Miguel actually basically dive out of the way of that one. I think that, Jeremy, with the power he has, best thing you can look for there is a deflection. Let that thing pinball around. And Miguel decided, hey, I'll be your bright orange target, and then moved right out of the way. Classic Charlie Brown.
Now Midwest on the counter. They have some numbers if Lansing City can't get back, but Kleppel's going to stop that attack right there. 10 minutes ago, it's 5-5. Temperature heating up here in Wyoming High School. Benches certainly getting into it, fans getting into it. I have a feeling this last 10 minutes is going to be very exciting, Gerard.
It definitely is. Hasovic is coming back in the game. He has not disappointed at all. Between him and Crispane and Kleppel, they have put on a show tonight.
The keepers are also racking up the saves. Conrad Gonzalez has 17 on the night currently, 18 now actually. Miguel, 8 right now, and he's only been half number 2. So over 20 saves on their end across both halves and both keepers. Jockeying for position up there, it's Cole Russell and Kleppel. City come away with it. Crispane trying to spin around the defender, cannot do so. Saltzman to kick it in. Finds Crispane again with his back to goal. Very comfortable in that position is Crispane. Here comes a double, looks for a turn, it's beautiful. Oh, almost. And Kleppel with a one-time strike. Man, Saltzman almost had that one. Beautiful turn from Crispane.
Yeah, really well drawn out play. They just didn't find the finishing touch, but really good execution.
Kind of looked like Shaquille O'Neal with that drop step right there. Looks like we're going to have another foul called against Lansing City. I didn't quite see it. Did you, Gerard?
Yeah, it's questionable. But
a handball?
That's what it looks like.
So Cole Russell stands over it. We know that he has a fiery left boot. Can he put Midwest United up in this one? He opts to go for Hasovic. It's going to bounce its way almost to. Referee's going to call touching the ceiling. I don't think it hit the ceiling. I think he called that a little bit too early. It's going to call it just over half. So a kick in near half for Midwest. Seeing a little bit of a new mix in this lineup currently for Midwest United. This one comes to Kleppel, pressure from Hasovic. He kicks it away for a kick in now. Gonzalez is just going to clear that one out in the direction of Saltzman. Starting to see some heavy breathing from some of the players out there. About 9 minutes ago, they've played 30 minutes of high-intensity, fast-paced futsal. Here's a long one going for Cole Russell, and he's going to just miss the near post. Almost caught Saltzman sleeping. He did catch Saltzman sleeping, but didn't convert. Now Gonzalez is going to go right up to Cernuda. He hits the deck. No call. He's still down. Don't know how that one got missed. He was definitely clipped, and instead it's going to be Fikret Hasovic on the other side, getting the go-ahead goal, number 6. Midwest United lead by 1 with just under 9 to play.
We've talked in games past about the selfless play of Midwest, making an extra pass, letting it go to that extra player. And we saw it there. You know, Cole Russell could have tried to get a little toe poke in there and try and put it in. Instead, he sees Hasevich coming down that back post, much more wide open opportunity for a shot from there. He very selfishly lets it go by. Not quite a dummy move between the legs, but close to it, stopping and holding up short. And it makes it all the way across out of traffic. Easy as you like for Hasevich from there.
Hasevich has really done a wonderful job of understanding where to be and when to be there all night. He's had an undeniable impact on the game, and it's been fabulous to see how he plays the game.
Anthony Leon Garcia, disappointed that he missed that one. This one dropped right in front of the goal for Kleppel. Looks up for Cernuda, great touch inside. He gets clipped again this time. He does get the whistle. Gerardo Montañez. That infraction.
I would like to see the replay before that last Midwest goal because Cernuda thought he got fouled on that one as well. He looked like he was in some pain after that.
Ooh, strike from Kleppel. Little grimace from Hasevich. He felt that one. Now here's Saltzman. Finds Cernuda at the top of the arc. A turn. Oh, a very awkward position for Miguel Cervantes, and he is down. And the referees are going to blow it dead here for an injury, which is understandable, but at the same time, Lansing City is inside the arc on an attack, and they just killed it.
Jake, do we have a ruling on that? I don't know that I've ever seen the game be stopped for anything other than a head injury, especially with the offensive team in an attacking position inside the arc with the ball.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to watch on the replay. I'm having a little bit of a technical difficulty on my side, but it must typically you would hope it's something serious that's causing the referees to play, bring play to an end for something like that, especially in a situation like that. But the good news is we do see Miguel back up, but look at Jose Vicario on the touchline getting ready to possibly sub back in. So not sure the severity, not sure if maybe that's what got the referees concerned is, at the end of the day, safety is number one. But, yeah, hard for me to say, unfortunately, at the moment.
Really tough, especially if you're a Lansing City fan. Of course, you absolutely want the well-being of all the players here. But with Miguel out playing still, he did land awkwardly. Just very tough scenario to get the play called dead when you're in such an important attacking scenario. But play will continue. Both sides with their respective obstacles to overcome in this game so far. There's 8 minutes to go. Midwest with the 1-goal advantage.
Earlier we did talk about the legacy of Cervantes in the league. He is a crafty veteran. You have to wonder if that was a strategic move on his part.
You'd hope that it wasn't, but it could have been. I wouldn't go as far to think that it was that, but it certainly stopped a dangerous opportunity for Lansing City. Now Midwest looking for a dangerous opportunity of their own. Cernuda fighting up there in the pivot position for Lansing City. And we're going to have our first timeout of the half with 7.5 to go. We'll be right back after this message from Ally Marketing. We're back from that brief break. Timeout here called by Lansing City. 7.5 to go. Midwest on top, 6-5. Jake, this is shaping up to be another exciting finish in the FCS. Looks like we are not getting Jake right now. But both teams currently in their huddles. I would say, a crucial timeout here, Gerard.
Yeah, this is a turning point in the game. We have just a few more minutes left in this game. We're on the back end of the second half. Lansing City has basically lost all of the momentum they gained earlier in the game, and it played out just like Jake said it would when they had the 3-goal lead. He said Midwest has come back time and time again. They have proven to do that, and it's really a testament to their work ethic and their work rate. And Gio's done a great job keeping his team's mentality strong even when they were down 3 goals.
Both teams with almost the same amount of corners. Midwest has 7, Lansing City with 5. Had some dangerous opportunities off those today. Now here is Kleppel. Draws the double team. Now to Robeson. Robeson to Elijah Vu. He goes all the way back to Gonzalez. Gonzalez is going to have to let that one roll over for a corner. Did he touch that already? I didn't think that. Did it start from the hands of Gonzalez? It must have, or else he would have touched that one for sure.
He played it earlier in the play.
Avoiding a second touch there, letting it go out for a corner. Midwest trying to put together their own attack. Here's an Anthony Leon Garcia. He's got his back to goal, deep in his own territory. Comes to Cervantes. Cervantes going up for Hasovic. And Gonzalez wanted a little bit of time to get back to his net. He grabbed onto that ball. Hasovic was telling the referee about it, and they have a little talk, and that's where that ends.
Veteran move. Very smart.
Midwest now in a dangerous opportunity within the arc. It's stopped by Robeson. Here's Cernuda. Cernuda clears it up the court. He was looking for a deflection. He's not going to get one. Have not seen the likes of Drew Barney much lately out on the court for Lansing City. I know he was nursing an injury. Got to wonder if they're limiting his play time today. Oh, here comes Kleppel. He's going to find the back of the net off the post. What could Miguel Cervantes do about that one? Not much, I don't think.
Well, he couldn't do much about it, but it was a mistake on his part to lose the ball to Kleppel. He tried to pass the ball up the court, and he passed it right into the chest of Jeremy Kleppel.
That's not something you want to do when you are hanging on to a 1-goal lead. It's tied now 6-6 with 6:40 to go. Kleppel with his 4th goal of the night. City trying to find Chris Spain down in the corner. It goes out before he's able to collect. Now Saldanas looking for his own long ball to Hasovic. It's not there. Midwest asking for a handball. They're going to get one. Got to be getting close to 5 fouls, and that is the 5th foul for Lansing City. So they have to be careful these next 6.5 minutes. Any ensuing foul will result in a 6-foul penalty for Midwest. Great defense there from Robeson.
Last few plays in the back, Robeson been great on the defensive end of the ball, putting his body on the line, taking some inspiration from Saltzman, threw himself down on a slide, got right back up and got the deflection that ultimately led to getting them out of trouble. And here again, he finds a way to diffuse the situation. Great work.
Miguel Cervantes sneaking up. He returns to net. Jorge Saldana is very unhappy with that call.
For those unfamiliar with the penalty rule in futsal, the foul count is similar to basketball. Once you get to the 6th foul, like you get a free throw in basketball, you get a penalty kick in futsal. So it becomes a very huge opportunity when a team gets that 6th foul called on them.
Robeson and Hasovic going at it. Hasovic retains possession. Couple looking for the double. Good defending there from Lansing.
And, Jake, that's exactly what you were talking about earlier, the fixer on the pivot going at it and the referee just letting them play. I know you'd be happy there was no whistle there.
Absolutely. Nothing in that at all. Just the nature of the game. Let it continue. Don't micromanage the game.
I mean, that was just a really great battle. Robeson should be really proud of how that turned out. Fickret showing his physical strength and why he's been so valuable to Midwest up at the top and in their offensive plays. I love it. Showcase both players really well, in my opinion.
Lansing City now with the corner. Vu is over it. Looks for Gonzalez. Gonzalez back to Vu. It's off the mark. Kleppel not very happy with the play of Vu in that case. Cervantes now inching up the court. Finding Leon Garcia. His right-footed strike misses the mark. Hasevich thought that one got a deflection. Referee says no. Touch down the line, blocked. 5:27 to go. It's a tie game, 6-6. Little chip in, looking for Crispane. He ends up able to collect. His attempt at a shot ends up in nothing. But a restart from the hands of Miguel Cervantes.
Tactical decision here to put Crispane on Fickret. Fickret has demonstrated an immense physical presence tonight, and we know that Crispane is capable of that as well. So it looks like they have manned up at this point.
Here is Crispane with his back to goal. He's got defenders coming towards him. Saldanis picks it up, and Midwest is going to retain possession there. Cernuda looking to go quick. Lansing City trying to make some substitutions, and it's going to be, was that just an infraction on the kick, or was it
the ball was still moving.
Ball was still moving. Unfortunate mistake. Here's Midwest. Hasevich loses it. Luciano Cernuda, Ooh, got past one, got some space, and his right-footed strike goes just wide of the far post. Now some Pivo and Fixo play up top. Robeson's there, and a two-handed shove. No call. Absolutely surprising. And the Lansing City coach and players are absolutely enraged, and I get it. Fikret Hasevich with a two-handed shove. Absolutely blatant. Ends up in a Midwest goal. Wow.
Big miss from the referees right in front of it, too. Kind of shocking. But it turns into a result for Midwest. Now Lansing got to find a way to dig that goal back. And it looks like we're seeing, is that a timeout? Or are they calling a fifth foul?
It's the fifth foul.
Fifth foul on both sides now.
What's really tough as an official is not having the proper angle. The play was coming at him. There was no way for him to see the extension of the arms. And so it's understandable why he missed the call. The part that is not understandable is why neither of his partners were able to step in and say something. It was a clear and obvious foul. It was really dangerous as well. A two-arm extension and a push.
Yeah.
Player going to the deck.
I mean, it's absolutely a caution for sure.
Yeah, so not only a foul, but it's a cautionable offense as well.
Play continues regardless. Kleppel now with some space inside. Forces a save out of Miguel Cervantes. Here comes Midwest. Great save at the near post. Conrad Gonzalez denying Isaiah Myers. 4:12 to go. United up one goal. Lansing City coach Matt Alashari having a chat with the third official. Both teams have had their share of speaking with the officials tonight. Certainly is a tough position to be in. I know, Gerard, you've had experience of officiating at a high level, not in futsal, but in other sports. And everyone expects you to be perfect.
Well, you should be. As an official, you should make all the calls. And when you don't, you let people down. And it's frustrating, and we know nobody's perfect, and mistakes happen. But one of the things that's really important, there's three officials. The officials need to get together. One of the things that we notice in this game compared to the last game that we had, the first game of our doubleheader, the officials were actually mic'd up in that game to where they could communicate with one another. In this game, they are not. You have to wonder what role did that play in their inability to communicate and get that call right.
Oh, can Lansing City pull even here? Cernuda trying to find some space to Robertson. Now Kleppel has it. Hasevich was playing him tight. Now it's back to Kleppel. He's got a 1v1 on the near side. Step inside. Ooh, he's looking for that near post. Always seems to get that little bit of space he needs when Kleppel does that little skip along the sideline. Very interesting if you didn't know, when you're doing that skip, you're actually waiting for the defender to plant on the opposite leg so you catch them on their heels. But here is Midwest, and denied by Drew Barney. There he is. Haven't seen him in a while. It's going to be a corner for Midwest. We have 3:16 to go. Midwest is on top by 1, 7-6.
De Leon has come back on the court for the first time. He has been out of the game for several minutes ever since he was risking getting that second caution. Let's see if his temperament has cooled off.
Same for Pedro Aguillon. I don't know if we've seen him yet in this half, but we've seen a lot of Fikret Hasevich, and he's on it now. Kleppel standing him up. His shot's going to take a bounce off of Saltzman. It's back at his foot. Lansing City's coach looking for some speed in this game with just 2:43 to go. Lansing City need one to draw even. And Lansing City calling for a double touch on the keeper, and both referees that he is talking to both having an explanation for the no call. What does Lansing City have here with 2.5 to go? Elijah Vu, that one goes under his foot, escapes his possession. Now some substitutions going on for Midwest United. Leon Garcia, that giveaway right to Kleppel. Not the first time Cervantes has passed it to Kleppel tonight. Here's Chris Bain with 2 on him. Now Hasevich. A strike's going to sail over the bar. That one didn't miss by much. Kleppel takes a seat for Lansing. 2:09 to go. Can't imagine he'll be out long. A long one from Gonzalez. Keeper's playing a little bit of catch here, and Fikret Hasevich almost capitalizes on that chance. Under 2 minutes to go. Midwest United with a 1-goal lead. Anthony Leon Garcia coming across net. It's going to be touched by Gonzalez, and Chris Spain can't keep it in. Quick substitution for Lansing. Robeson comes on. Vu's coming off. Kleppel comes in. Hasevich still in the game. He's got it right now at his foot. He's got 10 shots, 2 goals, and an assist. He's been a force for Midwest United tonight. Been on the court probably 70-80% of the game. Certainly the second half he's been out there a lot. He has it here. Looking up, Anthony Leon Garcia. Man, if he could have turned there with the ball. Great defensive effort from Hasevich. Now he has a 1v keeper. Gonzalez is there. David's on the ground. Robeson's on the ground. Lansing City fighting. Hasevich still has it. A chip is going to be saved by Gonzalez. What a sequence.
Robeson and Saltzman saved a goal right there. There was no angle for Fikret to put that into the back of the net. He knew it. Really remarkable from both of them. We know Saltzman gives up his body every single minute of every single game. It was great to see Robeson get involved in that too.
We have 50 seconds left. Lansing City trying to pull even. They're down 1. Midwest trying to hang on. Kleppel trying to find some space. He can't get it. It goes back to Gonzalez. Will they fly the keeper? They haven't done it yet. Here comes Gonzalez up the court. What do they have to lose? They're only down 1. Chris Spain's there. Gonzalez is there. He's going to get his way back. 28 seconds to go. Lansing City don't look like they're prepared to bring in a 5th attacker here. This would be a tough game to not get a result on after dropping 3 already this year. 20 seconds to go. Hasevich is holding on to it. The double comes from City. Ball finds its way to Kleppel. 14 to go. Left-footed strike. Takes a deflection. Robertson across the middle. Crispane was there, but it wasn't quite in his direction. Leon Garcia is the last one to touch it, so Lansing City with 9 seconds left now have a kick in near the half line. And Saltzman with a critical mistake. The ball rolling off the line. Now not with possession. 9 seconds to go. Can Midwest hang on here? They go backwards. High press from Lansing. That one's just cleared out. 4 seconds left.
You really hate to see an unforced error like that. The ball rolling after being set down. It's a tough one in futsal. Sometimes you just need to keep your hand on the ball so it doesn't move.
A little flick from the head of Kleppel. That would have been a good way to try to find the back of the net, but now it's going to be Miguel Cervantes, and surely he can air this one out. He's just going to roll it, and it's going to be – that's going to be clock on all zeros. Midwest United comes away with the victory. They were ahead, they went down, and they came back to conquer Lansing City 7-6. Jake, this was an exciting match here in Wyoming, Michigan.
Another high-flying match between these two clubs. A lot of goals in this one. Not quite to the 22-goal extravaganza we saw before, but 13 goals in a match. Still quite a bit to enjoy. Again, like I said before, Midwest made their comeback. You cannot ever count this team out. You cannot be caught on your heels against the Midwest United. They will find a way to come back into a match, and they did tonight. Salvaged themselves the 3 points after a pretty sketchy-looking start there where Jeremy propelled this Lansing side 3 goals ahead, and now they get the season sweep. Looking ahead, Lansing's going to have to come up with some answers now to get some points back, because as we get to the latter half of the season here, they're going to become more and more valuable to making that playoff push.
And hopefully you all at home were able to hear the crowd reaction as Midwest United players applauded their fans for coming out. A good showing tonight, as Gerard, you were saying earlier, and the fans very excited at how their team played and coming out with the victory today.
Yeah, there's a lot to be proud of in this community. We've seen 2 games tonight with 2 really fantastic crowds, a lot of energy, a lot of excitement. And it's one of the things, you know, it's not just the players' family, right, and the people with close relationships. You can see it extends more than that into the community. And it's one of the things that's really been exciting to see coming on the road for the first time for me, for FCS Live. To be a part of this is really special. And it's something that Jake and I, we were spending a lot of time while we were at break during halftime talking about the futsal, the game of it around the country, and really what it means to this community and how special this is. And if there was some way that we could take what Grand Rapids has done here with both Midwest and Olay and replicate that across the nation, it really would be special.
Well, and 2 a very critical 3 points for Midwest United, I believe, with the help elsewhere from Olay tonight. That does put them in first place in the standings, so they get to go into next week in that rivalry match against Olay with bragging rights at the moment. School building and have to find a way to get results there. It's going to be very, very difficult ask. As fans that followed us all through the night tonight know, they've seen what is on the cards whenever you travel to Grand Rapids in general, let alone to Olay's house. And when you think about the fan attendance at both of these games, you can guarantee it's going to be standing room only next weekend.
Can't wait for that one. We plan to be there again courtside to bring you that action. Just want to take a look at the stat sheet just for a minute. Lots of saves by the keepers. I mean, Conrad Gonzalez in both halves, he had 22 saves. That's a lot of shots to save. Giving up 7 goals as well, so he faced a lot of action tonight on the other side. Total saves, looks like it's about 23 in total for the other side between Jose Vicario and Miguel Cervantes. Jeremy Kleppel looks like he had 20 shots. 20 shots coming from Kleppel. Chances, I should say. They're not all shots on goal. Well, but that's something that we have seen time and time again throughout the year. Kleppel putting up a lot of opportunities, and we saw some of those break through, and unfortunately not enough tonight. But I do want to mention as well, we had a couple of very unique circumstances that I know that I carry in my heart. My heart is for Lansing City. If anyone knows, I've played for Lansing City. I've been associated with the organization for a long time, and of course, Jeremy Kleppel is my brother. And so there is maybe some of that, but I do have to say there were 3 times that a very key score-changing potentially opportunity in the game was kind of decided by an officiating call or lack of. There were 2 goals by Lansing where there was some kind of foul. I mean, one of them was a 2-handed shove that resulted in a goal, and the other one, I can't remember exactly what happened, but it was
Luciano right at the top of the arc. It looked like a foul from our vantage point.
It looked like a foul from our vantage point. It may or may not have been. And then, of course, you had the stoppage of play when Lansing City was inside the arc. So I know both teams, face their own challenges. But, Gerard, this is those are 3 very critical pieces, that, definitely had a say in how this game turned out.
Yeah, it's difficult. The last thing we want to do at the end of a match is talk about the officiating decisions and the impact they had on the game. But all 3 of those were really critical moments of the game. 2 led to goals. 1 prevented a goal-scoring opportunity. One of the things that Jake mentioned was you don't want the officials to be involved with, breaking up the momentum of play or breaking up the progress of play. They did that inside the arc in an attacking opportunity. They stopped the game. And then in the other 2 situations where they didn't blow the whistle, one was a clear and obvious foul. The other one looked very much like a foul. Luciano was even on the ground, and he was hurt, very much similar to the way that Cervantes was on the ground and was hurt. And so the fact that we stopped play for Cervantes but then not for Luciano, in that same situation where when Luciano lost possession of the ball after the potential foul, that was on the opposing end of the court, and they allowed play to progress the length of the court, whereas when Cervantes went down, the ball was less than 10 feet away from the goal, and they stopped play. And so to see that level of disparity in the calls is a little frustrating, disappointing for Lansing City, and they have to walk away at least feeling proud of what they did and what they accomplished. One of the things that we didn't get to talk a lot about this tonight, but Jack Fisher was not here. He has such an incredible ability to be creative off the ball, and it's one of the things that Lansing City typically doesn't have outside of Kleppel. Kleppel does a great job creating opportunities for others, and one of the things that we didn't see tonight from Luciano was capitalizing on that creativity. So you just had Crispane and Kleppel really owning a lot of those opportunities and converting, and it's one of the things that without having Jack Fisher here, Luciano wasn't able to pick up the rest of that gap up.
And actually all goals coming from Kleppel and Crispane. Kleppel with 4, Crispane with 2 of his own. But on the other side, you had, how impressed were you tonight with Fikret Hasovic? He probably played 80-90% of that second half.
Yeah, so one of the things, when we think about all of the talk that we just had, all of the conversation, all of it really is null and void because Fikret had an incredible impact on the game, and he was outstanding. He really demonstrated a level of excellence out there tonight. I think that at this point right now, that was the most impressive performance I've seen in this season in FCS from any player. You
just kind of got the feeling every time he got subbed off in the second half, it was like tugging at the coach's shirt saying, hey, put me back in, and he'd be back in 30 seconds. And absolutely was making impact on the game right away. He was on the ball, holding the ball, playing the high press, leading the high press, and, of course, scoring goals and creating chances. I believe Fikret had, let's see if I can find my stat sheet here for him. He had 10 shots, 2 goals, and assist. And he also racked up a few fouls and a yellow. He was all over on every aspect of the game today.
Yeah, just a truly complete performance. Jake, it's one of the things that I think about when you talk about the officials letting the fixo and the pivot play. So Fikret played most of the game as the pivot, and he really leveraged that. We could say that the nature of the referees to let them play, he leveraged that to his advantage.
I've said for a long time too, when I coach kids or when I'm with teammates, the referee is a part of the game, just like the playing surface is, just like the weather is when you're outside. I mean, you've got to adjust to your surroundings. The referees are a part of that to me. Maybe I'm off the mark thinking that way, but I think that teams need to be able to adjust to a style of play and also a style of officiating. Could it always be better? Sure, but that goes the same for us. And the big thing is, this Lansing side has been so close so many times to getting a result, and you feel like they were literally inches away tonight. Well, now we got to take the referees out of the equation. How do we give that little more effort and adjust to the officiating styles to get the win so that it can't be an excuse at the end of the game? Not that they're using it as an excuse, because that's not their mentality, but you can't look at that 100%, but you're absolutely right. Fickret using that, knowing that they were a little loose tonight and not really micromanaging the game like they did while they were in Lansing, that's huge. And he used that to his advantage. He's a big, strong player. And I got to give Coach Gio some credit, too, because in the lead up to this week, he called out Fickret as someone he expected to have a big impact on this game. And the numbers don't lie, right? So here we are. And Fickret being a leader on this team, not only in the stat sheets, but in the way that he leads these men off the court, and deserves accolades for his performance tonight.
That's what I'd like to give a shout out to Gio too. Another outstanding decision that might have gone unnoticed was the way he handled Daniel De Leon. De Leon was losing composure early in the second half. He was risking getting a yellow card, and it would have been his second yellow card, like we saw the first time they matched up at Lansing City, for the exact same reason, for encroachment on a kick-in. And so Gio pulling him, I think De Leon sat out for about 10 minutes.
It was a little while.
It was a while.
Yeah.
I don't think he came back in the game after that until
last 3 minutes
until
or so.
they had regained control. The tone had settled down, and that decision to sit one of your best players in the heat of a moment in a really tight game where momentum swings are happening back and forth, that takes a lot of courage to do as a coach, and it really sets the tone for the team that it's not going to happen. It's not acceptable to treat the officials like that, to lose your composure, to give into your emotions in that way. And so really proud of Gio Garcia for understanding how to manage his players and team in that moment and pull out the victory.
So 7-6 is the final tonight. Midwest United takes the win and the 3 points. Lansing City's playoff hopes diminishing. Of course, 4 out of the 6 teams do advance to the semifinals at the end of the year. That's going to be a single elimination tournament, semifinal, then final at the end of March. And Lansing City has some work to do ahead of them. They have not played Detroit Imperial at all yet, so there's an opportunity there. We have one team, Midwest, who has struggled thus far in the year, giving up a lot of goals and have lost all their games. And they definitely have the toughest road to the playoffs if they're able to. But if you think that if their struggles continue, you really only have to get ahead of one team. So Lansing City's games against Detroit Imperial will probably be very critical. But we do, speaking of other teams, we have to mention before we go off air, next week, the 2 Grand Rapids teams that we saw tonight are going to go head-to-head for a Grand Rapids battle, maybe like we've never seen before, Gerard.
Yeah, it's going to be a can't-miss game. Absolutely. The first time they played, I did miss the game, and I kick myself every day for it. Jake was talking about just the incredible comeback that Midwest continually put on. So it's going to be an intense battle. There's a lot of rivalry in this community. There's a lot of shared players from the organizations, and so they know each other really well. It's going to be intense. It's going to be exciting to watch. It's going to be exciting to be a part of. So if you haven't already put it on your calendar, put it on your calendar, make a date, save the link, set it up, send it to your friends, share it out. Make sure, look, if you're in the community, take a plane flight, take a train ride, make a vacation out of it. Come to Grand Rapids and check out a game here if you haven't come out to a game. It's really a great environment. It's honestly, I can say this without a shadow of a doubt, one of the best futsal communities in the country. And I'll put Jake on the spot there and say, Jake, can you disagree with that?
I think that the Grand Rapids community is the most mature futsal community as far as talent, community, culture of anywhere else in the United States.
You heard it here from Jake George. even though he's an Ohio person, Ohioan. I don't know how to say that. But
That's
we're
okay.
excited for that one next week. We're excited for the 2 Grand Rapids teams next week. Midwest United travels to Home School Building just down the road to take on Grand Rapids Ole. They are unbeaten. Currently, I think Midwest is technically at the top of the standings, but I don't think that anyone is in a better position win percentage-wise than Ole. They have, I believe, 3 wins, no losses, and a tie to Midwest. So definitely going to be a critical match coming up next week. January 18th, Saturday. That one is going to kick off at 8:30. And that is going to do it for us here tonight in Wyoming, Michigan. It was a great fun to be here courtside watching this fantastic game of futsal play. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and follow us on the social medias and follow your favorite teams. We're big reason why we do this is for the players that play. They want a chance to play. They want to be seen, and we want to do that. So don't forget to follow your favorite teams and interact with the teams. And that's going to do it. I'm Jared Kleppel along with Gerard Ascani, Jake George, and the whole crew that makes this happen. There's so many people that have been amazing in putting these productions on. So thank you to all of you. And from all of us here at FCS Live, thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time. Good night.